All right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
There it goes. See ya.
It was the middle game of a weekend 3-game series between the Yankees and the Twins. Aaron Judge got things started off on the right foot with a monster home run. Quick word from our sponsor, OddsJam, and then we'll break down the rest of the game. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Looking to boost your sports betting game? Meet OddsJam, the ultimate ally for data-driven wagering. With 260-plus sports books, it's your go-to platform. Here's how it works. OddsJam's arbitrage tool spots differences in betting lines, letting you lock in risk-free profits. Plus, optimize bets with a positive EV calculator and track profits with a convenient bet tracker. Try it risk-free with a 7-day trial. Use code RECAPS for 35% off your first month. Link is in the description. Bet smart. Bet responsibly with OddsJam. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, and welcome back to TK. Terrence joining us from sunny Southern California, where the Yankees are headed soon. TK, we have got ourselves a win streak.
We're going streaky! Yeah!
How you been doing, man?
Winning.
Been doing okay. It's actually not that sunny right now. It's a little cloudy and 61 degrees Fahrenheit in Los Angeles at this moment. So, but hopefully it'll be nice out tomorrow. Usually it is.
I'm glad you're finally using the correct way we measure temperature here.
This is America, Jack.
So, hey, before we get to the highlights, we got to wish a happy birthday to Alex Verdugo. And we got to mention Oswald Peraza hit his third home run in 6 rehab games tonight. It's amazing how much he tears up the minor leagues. He hasn't really put it together in the major leagues yet, but he hasn't really had a ton of opportunities. He's had a couple of short stints where he just hasn't gotten it going. I'll be interested to see how he factors into this team going forward. All right, let's get to the videotape tonight. I'm going to turn it over to TK for the highlights.
All right, so it was a nice win tonight, obviously. Nice and crisp, 4-0. You see Aaron Judge hitting the bomb there. I actually wasn't really paying attention to the game. Still kind of getting settled in there, checking some emails, and I just heard it. And I looked up on my screen, and I was just like, yeah, that was gone in a hurry right there. I mean, that was just, it's one of those ones that he hits where it's just, immediately. And he knew pretty much immediately, too. He's not really a bat flipper, but he just puts the bat down and kind of puts his head down and gets it going on the home run trot there. And then, Strowman with a nice night tonight, nice line. Kind of like a lucky start where a lot of balls were hitting the air and just finding guys' gloves. But, hey, he got it done. Gotten a few jams a couple times, but he got out of them. And you got to like what you've seen from Strowman so far this year. Volpe with another hit tonight as well, extending his hitting streak. And there, Castro, I believe it was, just falling asleep there, giving the Yankees a run. That was pretty embarrassing. And the major leagues just look up. You can see how many outs there are. Juan Soto there with a nice grab. And, that was a filthy slider right there. But, got to be happy with how the Yankees have been performing of late. It's amazing how much they just own this team with the Twins there. It almost makes me scared to see them in October if you believe in do, but I really don't think it's that concerning, just because I think we're like, 114? We had like 114 wins against them since 2002. I mean, that's just 116 wins, I believe it is, or 118, something around there. I don't know. But it's
domination, pure domination.
Domination for sure. Stanton with another nice night, broken bat there. But Judge starting to heat up. All those doubters saying, oh, yeah, the toe is bothering him. He's not playing that well. Well, look at him now. He's in the last 2 weeks. He's quietly inserted himself in the MVP race. I'm sure in 2 weeks from now, he's probably going to be up there with Kyle Tucker for home runs, leading the league in home runs. So that was another misplayed ball by Castro. Man, that was a rough night for him, man. But
absolutely atrocious night. Yeah, atrocious night for Castro out there. Hey, reminder to everybody, like and subscribe. We're creeping up on 40,000 subscribers. We need your help to get there. Also, call into the voicemail show for tomorrow, 718-899-1068. Before we break down the Judge home run, I want to show you something, TK. So I got this new McFarland Yankees Aaron Judge figure. This came today. This is not a sponsorship. This is not paid ad. I just thought it was really cool. I collect these. I know a lot of Yankees fans collect these, and the detail is just incredible. So I wanted to give them some props. They haven't been doing a lot of baseball figures in recent years, but this one came out and looks amazing. Does not have the star insurance on the arm, but detail is fantastic. So since it came in the mail, Aaron Judge is 4 for 4 with a walk.
He's on fire!
Adding 1,000.
Yeah. He is now hitting 378 in May with 5 home runs in 45 at-bats. His on-base percentage in May is over 450. He's slugging over 700. He just continues to mash the baseball. And the OPS, as you see, creeping up towards 1,000. Like you said, getting himself back into the mix for MVP as we go forward. And first inning, this one requires a closer look. I'm sure you're going to see it a lot over the next few days, but 467 feet.
It's another home run for Judge. All right. Here comes the Judge.
Man, he just opens up those hips and annihilates it. You said it well when you texted me. That ball had a family. Cole Tucker entered tonight's game as the league leader in home runs with 13. Over under 10 games before Aaron Judge is in sole possession of the MLB home run lead.
It's a tough call because 10 games, I'm going to go with under. Just the way he's swinging the bat right now. And when Judge gets hot, and we've seen in the past when he gets hot, he gets hot. Like he's just hitting them all over the place. He's kind of like Stanton in that way. But yeah, I'm going to go with under. Maybe it's like 9 games or so, but he's swinging the bat so well right now. I have every confidence that he will, just because we've seen it from him in the past.
Yeah, I think he's about to have one of those weeks like we've seen him have in the last couple of years where he hits, 5 or 6 home runs. I think he could honestly pass Tucker by next week. So I'm going to say Tuesday. So 6 games. 6 games from now. I think there's a 2 home run game in there somewhere, maybe 2 of them, or maybe a 3 home run game. Like the way he was seeing the ball tonight was locked in. I mean, not just the home run. He hit the double off the wall in right center, and then he hit a bullet line drive over Castro in center field. Castro had an awful night. The Yankees got their second run on a boneheaded play. So runners on second and third, fly ball to shallow center, and he comes in and he catches it and just starts jogging towards the dugout.
He must be the stupidest son of a bitch alive!
I tell you, second day in a row, he's looked like a total asshole out there, but we will take it. Judge ripped one off the right field wall on his second at-bat. Verdugo followed up with his second hit on his birthday, and then Giancarlo Stanton picked up a broken bat single to make it 3-0. 11th hit with runners in scoring position, TK. 11th hit. He's been clutch this year, and Stanton is quietly putting up respectable numbers. He's hitting 243. He's got a 764 OPS. What are you thinking about what we're seeing from Stanton this year?
Listen, I think he's just making the conversation about, when Dominguez comes back, what are they going to do? I mean, if Stanton keeps playing this way, it's probably going to be Dominguez going to start back in AAA when he's fully back from his injury. But if Stanton is going to hit between 230 and 240 this year and give you about 30, 35 home runs, I think you sign up for that, especially if he stays healthy. Health has always been a concern for him. But we've never really seen him have this build physically. He obviously made a lot of changes to his body this offseason, so we're still looking to see how he performs as the season progresses. But so far, it looks like it's working, and looks like he's staying on the field. Look, he can't run for shit. We know that. It's pretty bad. But if he's going to swing the bat that way, especially in the clutch, Stan's already proven that if he's anything, he's clutch. And you'll take that all day, especially from Yankee fans. We have a bit of a thing for clutch players, if you will, a little special place in our hearts for them. So I've been pretty happy with what I've seen from him, and he's definitely, I guess, proved the doubters wrong so far. Biggest question mark is going to be health, and if he ends up getting hurt, then I guess that kind of solves the Dominguez conundrum, right? So we'll see how it goes as it progresses.
I'm liking that he's still got the highest bat speed. That means the power is going to be there, as long as the reaction time is there. which, that can dip as you get older. But right now the power is there. The threat is there. He's on pace for about 35 home runs. And you'll take, right now, he's hitting 243. Would you sign up for 243 for the full season from Stanton with 35 homers? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think any of us would. And I don't think I would even mind Dominguez getting a little bit more time in the minor leagues, couple of months, and then you call him up in September if Stanton continues to hit like this, if we continue to get production from everybody like this. Now, Verdugo's hitting 248. He's not tearing the cover off the ball, but he's a good left fielder. He's not going anywhere. Obviously, Judge is not going anywhere, and Soto's not going anywhere. So barring injury, there's nowhere for Dominguez to play. But I think once September rolls around, he can kind of give guys a day off. We'll be at that point where we're loading up for the playoffs and we want to give guys more rest. And even though we're making an effort to, for guys to play pretty much every day, by that point in the season, I think guys are just going to be banged up. I mean, it's inevitable. So I think we're going to see Dominguez, but it might not be for a while if Stanton continues to play like this. And hey, I want the Yankees to win. I don't care what combination of 26 guys or 40 guys it takes for the Yankees to win. I want them to win. If Dominguez is the guy, if Stanton is the guy, if Verdugo's the guy, as long as we're raising the trophy, I don't give a shit. So Top 5, Judge ripped another double, his second double of the night, third extra base hit in the night. He had 4 hits, all of them extra base hits. He also had a walk, second 4 extra base hit game of his career. TK, I think he is getting ready to go on one of those streaks.
Certainly looks like it. He's swinging the bats so much better. And also, I think I noticed this. Does it look like he closed his stance a bit more from the beginning of the season? I noticed that his feet were a little bit more lined up straight tonight as they were opposed to earlier in the season, I believe. I don't know. I may be wrong about that.
It might be. It also could be the camera angle. Like every ballpark has a slightly different center field camera angle, and I feel like the ones where it's more aligned right behind the pitcher's mound, it looks like he's more closed. But I really can't tell a difference, honestly.
Yeah, listen, I mean, look, if he did something mechanically, whatever the hell he did, if he, did change his mechanics, change his stance, or he just sort of had a cup of coffee one morning and just woke up different. I don't know. But whatever he did, it's working. So I don't really care what he did. The important thing is that he identified the problem and he fixed it. And he's playing like Aaron Judge plays.
And he's hitting absolute nukes. Like this home run at the end of the homestand, 473 feet. He went 467 tonight. That's how you know he's fine. Guys, the toe is fine. He's running well. He's running good in center field. Everything is, in the green right now for Aaron Judge, and he is going to have a monster year. Mark my words, he's getting 50-plus home runs again. He's probably going to hit 280 or better again. He's going to walk close to 100 times. So I love what we're seeing from AJ. All right, so let's talk about Marcus Strowman. He was done after 6 innings, really solid tonight. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Just the 2 hits allowed. I thought he had some base runners here and there, but he never really seemed like, he got into any kind of serious trouble. TK, how you feeling about Strowman this year as you see the numbers there on the screen?
You got to be pretty happy with the numbers. I think what his issue has been in the past is, especially last season with the Cubs, he was like an all-star for the first half of the year, and then the second half of the year, he totally fell off a cliff. He's not a guy who's going to strike out a ton of people. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he's a guy who's going to get guys out, and he's going to eat innings, which is what you want. And he's been pretty much everything that you could ask for at the moment for the Yankees this season. He's kind of got that bulldog mentality on the mound. You can tell he wants to be here. He lives for the big moment, you can tell. I remember his first start at Yankee Stadium. He was walking out in the outfield, like pumping up the crowd. I definitely feel like when we get to October, if he gets a start, which I anticipate that he would, when he gets a start, he's definitely going to be feeling that energy and pumping up the crowd. So he's one of those guys that's like living for the moment, which I really like. So I used to hate him too when he was in Toronto, but now I love him. Isn't that funny how that works out?
Yeah, I like what you said about him pitching in the playoffs too. I really feel like he is one of those guys who would feed off the energy of the. And you know who else is one of those guys? Juan Soto, and so is Verdugo. Like honestly, this feels
Rodon
like a team. Too. Rodon, yeah, this feels like one of those teams where if you get to the playoffs, they've got that it factor, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, for sure. They got they got a bunch of dogs on the team. That's what this is. This whole thing that they're doing whenever they get. This year, it was the Savages 1 year. This year, it's the dogs. All right. So that's the thing. That's a mantra this year.
Love it. So Luke Weaver pitched 2 scoreless innings in relief. He continues to look really good. Gave up a couple of hits, but had 3 strikeouts. He's got a 2.25 ERA, 0.68 whip. I mean, phenomenal. To me, I see a little bit of Chad Green in him, the way they're using him, and just the stuff, the way the fastball rides through the zone right now, and the changeup has been filthy. Volpe singled in the top of the 9th to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. That was the Yankees' 13th hit, final hit of the night. So they're just picking up a lot more knocks this year than they did at any point last season. And once again, John Sterling, take it away.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
And correction on Strowman's ERA, it went down after I posted the stats. I guess MLB didn't have it updated, but it's at 3.33, so it's a little slightly lower than the 3.40 that I had. Still very, very good. All right, I don't think there's really much doubt tonight as to who gets the belt. Do you want to do the honors?
Drum roll, please. I think it's got to go to the captain, Mr. Aaron Judge. Deserves it.
Chris Petrillo says, how about Ferguson getting 3 outs in the 9th? Hey, minor miracles. Minor miracles happen. He almost served up a home run.
Dude, that was scary. That was kind of scary.
So we were talking about a little bit, and we'll do an entire podcast about this, but about trade candidates. And we both mentioned that, Ferguson does not give us a lot of confidence out there, to say the least. That's putting it as nicely as I can possibly say it, because my mother taught me to be nice to people. And if we're being honest, if the New Yorker comes out of me, he is garbage. So I don't want to see him in any kind of close games going forward. So I think that the Yankees need to replace a lefty in the bullpen. You mentioned Garrett Crochet, who I like. So tell us what you like about Crochet. I'm going to pull up his numbers.
I mean, he's got electric stuff, throws really hard, obviously a lefty. He also hides the ball really well in his delivery, which is deceptive. If I know correctly or not, I think the White Sox, he came up as a reliever. I think they turned him into a starter this year, but that's just because the White Sox have nobody on their team. But he's got more reliever stuff. He's also really tall, which I think is an underrated part about a good pitcher because it makes the stride longer and the release point is higher, so the angle is kind of darting down more. He's definitely a guy that I would look at if I were the Yankees. The White Sox are definitely going to be sellers. They have no hope this season. They're fucking awful. But we can see where they're at. But as far as lefties are concerned, yes, I would definitely be interested. And yeah, he'd be a reliever on this team. He's not going to be a starter. But like I said, Chicago just has nobody on their team. So I feel like he's just a starter more so out of necessity rather than they really believe that he is a starter.
Yeah, and then Michael Kopech was another guy that we mentioned. He is a reliever. He's pitched 20 2/3 innings, 27 strikeouts. He's got electric stuff. He's another guy who throws really, really hard. 3.48 ERA. I think there's room for improvement from both of these guys. You put them on a winning team, and you, like you said, feeding off of that energy. Mm-hmm.
It's funny. They actually acquired him for Chris Sale. He was part of that trade.
He was, the Yoan Moncada deal.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he was part of that.
I remember when that happened. Yoan Moncada is one of those guys that he was obviously a Cuban import, and there was all this hype about him because he was an international prospect. He was very young, and I was so pissed off when the Yankees didn't get him. And then it turned out that he's had a couple of really good seasons, but he's really faded fast. And word around the campfire is he just doesn't like baseball. He's one of those guys kind of like Anthony Rendon who just does not like baseball.
I hate that. You're in the major leagues and you don't like baseball. I mean, I know there's a lot of pro athletes in the NBA. There's a lot of guys like that. But if you're blessed enough to be good enough to play in the major leagues, there's just an enormous problem for me for a guy who doesn't like baseball. It's literally what you do for a living. Also, I'm seeing a comment here by Requinix17. Another thing that could solve the Jason Dominguez problem, trade him. Absolutely not. No way.
Yikes,
He's not getting traded. Guys, 21 years old. Not getting
No way.
No chance.
Not a chance. And I would revolt. I would personally drive to New York and slap the shit out of Brian Cashman if that happened.
I'll tell you this. There's one player that I would even consider giving Juan Soto up for, and that's Ronald Acuna Jr. That is the only guy.
You said Juan Soto. You mean Dominguez?
I'm sorry, Dominguez. Yes, the only guy I would consider giving up Dominguez for in the entire league is probably Acuna.
Yeah, I don't even think I would do that right now. I mean,
I'm just saying I probably wouldn't do it just because Dominguez is younger. But as far as like who you're getting in return, that's the only phone call where when you hang up, you're like, maybe, you know?
Yeah. So we just had another comment. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, but I wanted to get your take. Let's say Gerrit Cole came through the door tomorrow. What do you do? Who goes to the bullpen or who goes to AAA? What do you do? How do you solve the rotation? They're not going to 6-man because you want to keep Gerrit Cole on his normal rest. That's how he likes to pitch. Although maybe coming back from a near Tommy John incident, elbow strain. It looks like it's getting dark out there. Like, is there a giant spacecraft hovering over LA?
I don't know.
I'm fighting aliens. No, I
got a little cloudy all of a sudden.
Tell me you got that reference. Tell me you got the Independence Day reference. Come on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've seen the movie.
So who's your guy? Who's going to the bullpen or who's going to the minor leagues?
It's a tough call, man. But my first thought is Schmidt. I know he went 7 innings last time out, but historically, what we've seen from him is after the first time through the order, he hasn't really performed as well. So I think, and also Clark Schmidt, I feel like would fill that Johnny Lasagna role really well, the 2-inning long relief role. I don't want to see Heel get sent to the bullpen. I know he has an innings limit, and that's fine. And maybe later on in the season when he starts getting close to that innings limit, you can swap him for a guy in the bullpen. Like if you end up spending Schmidt there.
Let me interject. So apparently word around the campfire is Michael Kay talked to Cashman and company, and they basically said there's no innings limit on Luis Heel. They're basically going to watch him and see how he does. And if he stays strong, like that's the thing about modern metrics is you can measure like every delivery that a guy has. And when he starts to fall off, they'll pull them out of there. But it doesn't sound like they have a hard innings cap. So if it's 150 innings, it's 150 innings. If it's 180, it's 180. I don't know.
Yeah. With him though, if there's no innings cap, he has to stay in the rotation. He just has to. There's no way that I would be taking him out. I mean, he looks like 2017 Luis Severino right now, which is just like really, really, really nice to see. He always had electric stuff like that, and his problem has been command. But I think with the tutelage of Matt Blake, he can kind of fix some things here and there. And, he definitely has improved on the command. Definitely sometimes becomes a problem, but I don't think he'll be getting sent to the bullpen. That's certainly not what I would do. I feel like Schmidt and Cortez are kind of the two choices. And I only say Cortez just because they're short on lefties in the bullpen. Other than that, though, I honestly would kind of rather send Schmidt out there, man. Like, I feel like Schmidt in the 2-inning role would be nice.
There's two other options. Like, I know that Phantom IL is supposedly not supposed to be a thing anymore, but there's two guys I could see going to the Phantom IL. Strowman, because he didn't throw a ton of innings last year, and he's getting a little bit long in the tooth, and you want him fresh. We know he can pitch. He's a little guy. There's a lot of strain on the arm to pitch the way, he does. I could see him getting a couple of weeks off with like a phantom hamstring or whatever, and then you follow it up as soon as he's ready to come back with like Nestor Cortez. Then you buy an extra month for Luis Heel, and then you make the decision. Then by then it's trade deadline time. Maybe somebody gets moved. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, also you got to factor in injury. God forbid that happens, but I mean, that could happen as well, and it would solve the problem for you. We're assuming here that there aren't any injuries and that Cole is just coming back. I'm leaning towards Schmidt goes to the bullpen myself. I think that ultimately that's the direction I would go in personally for the reasons that I highlighted before. But anybody who says Heel should go to the bullpen, and yes, I do know that Heel's stuff plays awesome in the bullpen and he'd be a lights out reliever. But just because what he's shown us as a starter, and I feel like he's kind of starting to go deeper into games now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's starting to go deeper into games now. And if you can have, like, I'm thinking about the rotation even like next year. And if Heel's going to prove himself to be like an ace caliber pitcher and Rodon's had a great bounce back year, all of a sudden you got Cole, Rodon, and Heel in your rotation. That's like potentially 3 ace level pitchers. And I'm still high on Rodon. I know he had a bad year last year. He's had a very good year this year, but I still think San Francisco Giants Rodon's in there somewhere. And I think we'll start to see that as the season progresses as well, because he's starting to look like better and better every time out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been great. And I just wanted to take a look at some of Luis Gil's stuff here. I mean, the guy has ace-level stuff. There's no doubt about it. 98, 99-mile-an-hour fastball. We've seen him hit triple digits before. We've seen the changeup. Watch this changeup. Actually, that was a slider. He's got a filthy, filthy slider and a disgusting change. There's the changeup, 93 miles an hour. He's been controlling the ball better. He's been working a lot with Gerrit Cole. You see him on the sideline getting the tutelage from Gerrit Cole. If he can make the adjustments successfully and he can be coachable, he's got the stuff to pitch like a Cy Young winner. I mean, if you had said to me, Derek, Gerrit Cole's going to be out for a couple of months, and through his first 9 starts, his replacement is going to be 4-1 with a 2.51 ERA, I would have been like, sign me the hell up. And that's exactly what he's done. And he's beat some good teams. He handled the Orioles well. He's one of the only guys who, pitched well against the Orioles. So, I mean, and he pitched well against the Brewers. He's elevating the fastball. He's throwing the changeup and the breaking ball down in the zone and getting whiffs. He's getting soft contact. Now, the BABIP leads the league, and that's, as somebody pointed out, not always a great indicator. But here's the thing. He's getting soft contact. Like, he's getting pop-ups and stuff like that. So I think it's not really like a bad luck or, bad luck for the offense thing. I think it's just, he's pitching to soft contact.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it continues on this trajectory, he's an all-star this year. He's got the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Actually, a great point by Pamela Davis here is we're forgetting to, what the hell are we going to do when DJ gets back, which is kind of a great point, actually. I didn't really think of that. Oswaldo's played really well. Like, I've almost kind of forgot about DJ, if, you can believe it.
And John Birdie looks good. Like, it seems like every time he's in there, he hits at least 1 or 2 line drives. He might not always get a couple of hits, but he hits the ball hard. And he's like Tim LeCastro on the bases. The guy is super fast. So, I want that guy on the team. I want Oswaldo on the team. I don't know what you do with DJ, and he's got to be getting ready to come back, right? We keep hearing about it, and I mean, that's just going to be a tough decision. If I'm the Yankees, I find a way to keep him down there for another. Oh, the foot kind of sore again. Let's reactivate the IL stint for a couple weeks.
Dude, hot take though. You probably get a copier machine for him in return, but if you can trade him this season, I would. If there's a team willing, if there's a team willing, we would have to eat most of the contract. So keep that in mind. We would definitely be eating most of the contract. But if there's a team willing taking a shot on him for pennies on the dollar, I'd probably move him just because he doesn't really fit on the team. Stanton's kind of like that too. Even if Stanton has a great year this year, I'm talking about roster fit in terms of the construction of the team with a bunch of the younger guys that you have coming up. DJ and Stanton kind of feel like odd men out to me a little bit just because they're aging players. They got big contracts. You're going to have to eat a majority of those contracts and you're going to get nothing for them. But in terms of like roster fit, they don't really fit on the roster.
Yeah, cost of doing business. You have to look at it this way. You have to look at it as like when you do a posting fee for an international player, it's just money that goes back to the team. You're just giving money away to bring in a valuable player. You got to look at it as, all right, I'm eating this money from DJ LeMahieu, or I'm eating this money from Stanton, and it won't be Stanton this year, but I'm eating this money so that one of my younger guys who's better can play. That's how you got to look at it. And you got to look at make that money back on like merchandise and marketing over the next several years with one of these younger guys.
Well, I mean, the Mets kind of did that last year when they traded Verlander and Scherzer. Essentially what they did is they bought prospects because they ate all those contracts and they got pretty decent returns because of that. So if you want to look at it that way and eat the entire contract and basically you're just buying prospects, you can look at it that way too.
Yeah. And Zion Astana brings up that Birdie's a great defender. I think he's looked great over there. His throws are a little bit iffy. He bounces a lot of them, but hopefully that'll come around, with more playing time. But overall, say again?
Has he played the outfield before, Birdie?
I don't think so. He's got the speed to do it, but I think
like he could totally be a super utility guy.
Yeah.
And play everything.
Yeah, he looks athletic. All right, one more time. We are on a winning streak.
Wow, winning.
Over 860 on the stream, including X. Reminder to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Call into the voicemail show. We're going to do a voicemail show tomorrow. We do one pretty much every weekday. 718-899-1068. TK, are you ready to wrap it up?
Yes, sir. Also, last thing, DJ and Stanton, It's like $40 million.
I gotta get out of here.
It is.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
That's my half-ass dance. That's my 10:51 at night dance.
Yeah.
1 o'clock game tomorrow. So tune in the afternoon.
Game over, man. Game over.
Probably about 3:45 p.m. we will be live. And thanks again to Terrence. We'll see him again. He's going to be at a couple of the West Coast games. He's going to try and get us some footage from the stadiums and some highlights and some B-roll and all that good stuff. And until then, we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Oh,